Hi, it's Bumbleberry, and we finished the war last time. Now let's see how the official Matthew ending goes.
Yay. My body wasn't ready to take the journey back home yet. We had to celebrate the excess of the war, after all. The full moon rose over Lilith Castle towards the dawn. The entirety of the demon world celebrated with endless drink, food, laughter, and dancing. It was so unreal, but the courtyard that I could see was filled with smiles and happy faces. We had stayed for one more night, traveling back to Lilith Castle to rest and return home as healthy as we could be. After all, we had just gone through a war. One more night in the demon world wasn't going to hurt us. Until, everyone tries to kill us. Diana is gesturing for me to follow her. Why not? Let's go. Let's be besties with her again. Nobody better try to murder her, though.
I have to thank you, dear.
Yeah? For what?
For aiding us in this war. We've been fighting the Demon Lord for so long. We thought the war would never end. As terrible as the circumstance was, if you hadn't been summoned here, we probably would have still been fighting now.
Yeah, that's okay. I walked over and stood behind her, leaning on the balcony, looking at Diana as she smiled and let out a chuckle.
To be very honest, I didn't expect to ever see you again. After I took your energy that night, I vowed to never deal with humans again. No clairvoyance could have told me about you coming into play in this war.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool. It was good to see you again, or at least I got to help bring peace here. Diana smiled and nodded to me. I was really glad to help bring peace to a world. It wasn't out of pride or vanity, it was a matter of helping people clearly in need.
We owe you much thanks.
I'll accept your thanks when I finally get married.
Oh, I had almost forgotten.
I tilted my head at her. What was she talking about? Diana lifted one of her hands towards the sky and waved her hand through the air, making a soft purple mist glow around her fingers. There's a lavender... Oh yeah, the lily! She presented it to me.
A gift, my dear.
Oh, you're so cute. I love you.
A flower known only to demons of Lilith. We call it the Flower of Lilith, because these flowers were said to have been created when Lilith first appeared in the abyssal plains.
I forgot about this, so I'm not going to totally skip it.
It is...
Ooh, what? Oh yeah, so it forms a flower crown.
A human you may be, but Lilith would have been proud to see you marrying one of her own. These flowers represent her blessing, and may only crown the worthy.
'Cause I'm frickin' worthy. I never imagined that Matthew's own mother would go crazy and turn on him. At least the Demon Lord got what was coming to him.
Anyway, Matthew's completely free now, and you got to return to the human world in the end.
Heck yeah.
Anyways, you've been through a lot, so why don't we skip to... Huh? You want to know what happened after the war? Well, I mean, I guess I could
Okay,
tell
I'm
you.
gonna punch you in the throat.
After the war was finished, the entire rebellion celebrated. Word spread far and wide about the rebellion's success, and soon every kingdom in the abyssal plains had become united with the new authority. You would think demons would be more hostile towards each other, being demons and all, but the threat of the Demon Lord was what brought the entire world together. The entire world united under one banner, the Lilith Crest. Diana became the sovereign of the entire plane, accepted and loved by practically everyone because of her devotion to the world and her bravery in the
What
war.
happened with Rabbit?
Sero, as devoted as ever, remained by her side as her loyal bodyguard. Diana became one of the most beloved rulers in all of Demon World history. Her natural heart of gold led her to lead the world to a prosperous future, one filled with peace and happiness. The other rebel leaders supported her, eventually changing the caste system of the world and slowly working their way towards a plane as equal and peaceful as it could
Heck
be.
yeah.
Diana had her suspicions, of course, as any monarch would, but if they had any sort of bad thoughts about her before, they certainly didn't during the recreation of the world. And I believe that is everything that happened after, well, except for your story anyway. Matthew and you went back to the human world and had a peaceful night in your bed before moving on and getting married. Huh? How do I know? Well, I have my ways. Maybe you should check it out.
Do I get to see the wedding? Hello? Oh, are you kidding me? Text. The wedding day, which was rescheduled without issue, became as perfect as I imagined it to be. The ceremony was perfect and the reception was filled with food, cake, and streamers. Everything a perfect party should have. Our night became filled with both excitement, fun dancing, and a feeling of perfection as the realization of everything hit me. I was at last married to the man of my dreams. I could go on and on about the wedding and the honeymoon, but honestly, after the war, I was more concerned of living my life afterwards. Our lives exploded with possibilities after we officially became husband and wife. Matthew helped escalate the Anderson Toy Company to new heights with his brother and became a head designer for toys. He began to pump out idea after idea, becoming a master toy maker like my grandfather was. As for me, I began to go through my own success in life, dedicating myself to exactly what I wanted to be. After all, my husband was being a master toy designer. If I put the same amount of work in it as I did in the demon world, then I was going to be okay. However, there was never a day that went by that I didn't think about what was happening in the Abyssal Plains. It was a heavy chapter of my life, one that tested the love between me and Matthew. The memories of our final fight with the Demon Lord and Azira still haunted me slightly, but it only showed me how passionate Matthew was with keeping me safe and remaining as my own. I was blessed to have him as mine after everything we went through. Still, I was confident we would get through it and stay together no matter what came our way. Demon, devil, whatever. It didn't matter to us. We were unstoppable together. A moment to myself was all it took to remember everything that went on during my time at the Abyssal Plains. It was a heavy part of my life and a chapter I would never forget for as long as I lived. Still, there were some fun moments, while others only proved to me how strong I was and how strong the love me and Matthew had was. It was a blessing in disguise. I sat at the dining room table, looking over the multiple photos that were taken from our wedding. There were so many goofy smiles, embraces, and tear-jerking moments that spanned through every picture. I felt myself grinning at the sight of each one, remembering vividly each moment as it was shot and captured in nostalgic euphoria. I almost wanted to go back in time and relive it all over again, just to feel the emotions run through me once again for the first time through. What do you think, Simon? Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about Simon. I looked to my furry friend, pointing at an image that somehow managed to catch him jumping for the bridal garter in his surprisingly human form. How he managed to learn that I would never know, but I was excited to have him as a guest instead of just my lucky charm. Simon wobbled over from his spot, looking at the image, and gave me a silly grin. It still looked a little evil, but I had begun to recognize which of his smiles were actually filled with ill intent and which were genuine. I giggled and slid it over to him, picking it up off the table and handing it to him, watching him sit back on his fluffy tail looking at it in awe. I guess pictures were still a wonder to Simon since they didn't move. Shaking my head, I began to slowly pile the rest of the images together, eager to store them away for the future and frame them just for the sake of memories. As I did, Matthew walked into the room, hands behind his back with a smile. Oh, hey Matthew.
Hey, what you doing?
Oh, I was just looking at our wedding photos. I got a bit nostalgic, you know? Matthew nodded and walked over, looking over at them over my shoulder. I, however, attempted to be sly and looked over his in return to try to get a glimpse at what he was hiding. To my surprise, there was nothing there, making Matthew smirk and laugh.
Look, I know I have a nice butt, but you don't need to try and sneak a peek at it, okay?
Oh my gosh. He reminds me so much of my boyfriend. Like, he's a very, never mind, I'm not gonna go into it. Oh my gosh, Matthew. I gave Matthew a playful slap on the shoulder as both of us began to laugh wildly at the joke. Matthew was the first to calm down, wrapping an arm around my shoulder and continuing to look at the pictures.
Man, it's been a couple months since the wedding, right?
Yeah, how time flies. I laid my head on Matthew's shoulder, letting my emotions drift into a state of calm and serenity in his half-embrace. With a chuckle, Matthew lowered his head and kissed the top of my hair before snuggling it with his cheek.
I still remember it. Oh, I was so nervous saying my vows.
Me too. It was like a dream from long ago. Both of us reveled in the memory of us exchanging vows and saying I do to one another. I could feel the rush of happy realization wash over me as I affirmed to myself, Matthew was my husband. Matthew grinned before kissing my temple and standing up straight, placing his hands behind his back once again. When he brought them forward, I was shocked to see him bring around a gift box, beautifully wrapped and tied with a bow. Huh? Matthew, what is this?
Something that I think you and Simon will like.
Really? Both of us? Simon perked up at the sound of his name, and I straightened in my chair, now beyond curious of what was in the box. As Matthew slowly unwrapped it, I gasped at what popped out of it. Another doll? No, it's a lady doll for Simon. Simon gets a happy ending. Oh my gosh, look at Matthew's face like, yay. And he's also like slightly traumatized that we'll have two of them running around. They better not breed though, because that will be bad for the world. But I'm happy he has a friend. Bursting from the now open top was a fluffy doll that looked almost like Simon, but with a bow on its head and a cute little curl in its fur. It looked around, it looked around and hopped onto the table, skittering over to Simon. Of course, Simon brandished his toy knife, but stopped as the doll came up close and sniffed him, grinning at him and hopping around him excitedly. A couple of sniffs from Simon caused him to do the same to his new friend. I feel like she should have a little fork or something, but she has a clip in her hair.
I figured, since we're married and stuff, maybe it was time to get Simon a playmate of his own. You know?
Sure. I smiled as the two furry dolls bounced around each other, now excited for their new company, and stood, walking over to Matthew. He lowered the box and wrapped his arms around me, grinning down at me as I nuzzled my nose to his. You are the absolute best. You know that?
I do my best for you.
Matthew raised his hand and brushed a strand of hair behind my ear before cupping my cheek. I felt his warmth radiate from his hand, causing me to lean into it and smile. I love you, Matthew. I love you so much.
I love you too, more than anything. And I'll always be here with you, working to keep a smile.
Ooh, on my face.
I love you too, more than anything. And I'll always be here with you, working to keep a smile on your face.
I couldn't stop my smile from growing before leaning in and kissing Matthew lovingly, feeling him kiss back with the same amount of love and passion I had. He would always be here with me, and no one would be able to take him away. I would be here, arms wide open for him, and I would fill him with my love for as long as I lived. And that was my perfect happily ever after. And hopefully Simon got it too. Oh, my love for you is endless, is that ending? How freaking precious is that? Ah, that's sweet. I just played a lot of Seduce Me in a row for you guys because I needed to get the good Matthew ending. So I guess it was a little bit for me too. You guys want to listen to the song? But in the meantime, I will tell you about things on my thoughts of the Matthew one. I liked this playthrough a lot better than the Eric one. And you know I love Eric, nothing against him. But I felt like it dealt with Matthew more and like his insecurities and stuff. I felt like that was gone into a bit. I don't know if the whole rabbit storyline was really resolved. I don't know, was I supposed to say that they would be better? But I'm like Team Diana, 100%. I want her to end up with either Sarah or me, depending on which storyline it is. And, yeah, also, Matthew, the voice of, you know, him, Ethan, whatever your name is. I have a boyfriend, but, you know, if that ever changes, you can just call me and just tell me how awesome I am, because you have a very adorable voice. Oh, the feeling deep within burns every day, you guys. This is a really pretty song, actually. So anyway, other thoughts. I think that was silly that the either hold his hand or give him a hug was like the deciding point. I wonder what happens if you call Matthew as the name. Maybe I'll try that. Beautiful. Look at all the Emilys that helped. So thank you guys for supporting this game to be made. Wasn't an initial Kickstarter, but I bought it. I didn't like get a free review copy or anything. even though I probably could have found a download somewhere. Because, I don't know, I just feel like they put so much time into this, and I played through the whole first game, and, you know, they deserve the 10 or 20 bucks, whatever it is. Because, I actually started trying to write my own visual novel. You guys, it's so ridiculous. Coding is obnoxious. But, we'll see if that ever happens. If it does, I'll play it for you guys. I don't know if it finishes. It's embarrassing. I shouldn't have even brought it up. But what else is going on in your life? Everything cool? Everything good? Those of you that are in school, I hope that this is a nice distraction for you, a nice way to unwind, watching Matthew not bake cake, and, you know, killing his mom and all that good stuff. That was pretty wild. So no more extreme death, okay? I can't imagine what the other guys' playthroughs are going to be like. I mean, because it seems like each of them are totally different. So, I don't know. I think James is going to have to deal with being the oldest son again. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. I think either Sam or Diana will be next. I know you guys love Sam. You love him. I like him a lot. He's really funny. So maybe he'll be next. Maybe Diana will be next. But I might have to take a mini break from Seduce Me. Not a long break, maybe like a week. Just because I feel like I just played through all of this. So I don't want to like go right into it again. So maybe like a week or two break from Seduce Me 2. I still have Psychonauts going on. And I'll do a different mini Atone game that I've really wanted to do a playthrough of. I think it's short though. It shouldn't be more than like an hour. And I think that will be lots of fun. And I hope you guys had so much fun with me. ? The end. And I will see you on the next playthrough. And I hope you all stay sweet. Let me know what you thought of the game. And have a wonderful day.